records back as far as there have been people in this specific area settling. So there's no telling who's here, what's here. So we just kind of live with it.
Yeah, even up, early 1900s when somebody passed on, especially if they're kind of not in the city, kind of in the rural area, they died. A lot of times they were, planted on their own property by that old oak tree or just somewhere on the property. They didn't, if they didn't want to go, there was no law say they had to be planted in the cemetery. So, I mean, you don't know. You could have, spirits floating around your property.
Right. My mom actually has two small children who are buried on her property. And when she moved there, we had no idea that they were there. And it just so happened that one of the locals, his parents, had helped bury the children. So he's like, well, you got two kids up here buried, so don't bother the grave. And, we're all clueless. The big oak tree there, there's a ring of rocks around it. The kids are buried in that tree. Oh. And that's how piling rocks around the tree, 2 or 3 feet high and 2 or 3 feet out from the tree, so it wouldn't be disturbed. Oh,
wow. Now, I got to ask you a question because we don't have much time here tonight. What got you to write these series of books? And people who are listening, you need to check out these books. I mean, if you want a good read and you want something that's a fun, monster type read, instead of watching your freaking TV or listening to my show, hey, this time of year, you start a fire, not in the house, but in the fireplace, and get yourself something cool to drink, like mint julep or something, and sit back, on that easy chair with a comforter and start reading a book with the lights down low, real low.
Yeah, I started writing these. Part of it was I have a series of injuries and illnesses related to work, so I end up at times having a lot of pain and can't do a lot. So this idea came of Bigfoot's being hidden on the military base after a report of a black bear sighting. And that led to an alternate Area 1. Instead of all aliens, let's have it be Bigfoot and, werewolves and, genetically engineered things that aren't safe to be out in the woods, so they're being housed almost in a zoo or some kind of sanctuary or something. So, that's what led to it.
Well, I mean, how did you come up with, I've talked to people, a lot of authors, it takes them months and months just to write one, even a small book. How could you write 5 books that fast? And they're good. That's what I find so outstanding. I don't know how you could do it.
For me, it's when I start, I want to finish at least a chapter that I'm working on. And as I go, I literally just make it up as I go. I don't have a specific plan to go from point A to point B to point C and ultimately the end. I just kind of let it progress, and by doing that, it just kind of flows, and it comes a lot faster.
Now, when you go to bed at night, do you keep a notebook or a recorder next to you? And do you have these weird dreams that you write down and incorporate into your book? How's it come to your brain?
The weird thing is I rarely dream. So that's not even a factor in what I write. I just kind of make it up as I go. Some things, it's like I need to find some kind of folklore that fits in with this topic or that topic and incorporate that in as a creature or monster or whatever. But a lot of it just pops in my head as I go.
Wow. I haven't, as you know, I've had a lot of authors on my show this past 14 months. And, it seems like a lot of them struggle, to even write a chapter. It's like, And then, I keep thinking of you. I mean, as they produce one book and you produce 5. It's just outstanding. And, I'm going to be honest with you. When I first had you on and I didn't have your book to read, I started thinking, oh, God, this book must be shit. It has to be. Yeah, and then, I got the 2 copies. I read them and I'm going, wow, this is really good. And it was shocking that, it could produce books like this. I mean, are you going to do any more of this type of books or at all in the paranormal, or are you going to go something strange like cookbooks? I'm just kind of curious.
Well, I am planning on a cookbook, actually 2, but someone actually said, hey, if you're doing a cookbook, is it going to be related to the series? And I kind of stopped and was like, that's not a bad idea. So that is something that's kind of floating around in my head, is somehow work it in where it matches up with the series. But have already finished the first book in the prequel series to 51.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So there's going to be 5 books in that series, and it's actually going to cover 15 years prior to where 51 starts with Lindsay taking over as sheriff.
Wow. Have you ever thought about sending that off and seeing if anybody would be interested in making a mini-series or a TV series off of it? I mean, I've had, one of the authors I had on wrote, some stories for, remember, the Star Trek, The Next Generation, and then, what is that, Space Station 9 or whatever it was? He wrote a couple stories for that. He was just, crank them out, in this little studio and then submit them. And all of a sudden he got very popular writing for sci-fi movies, Babylon 9 and all that stuff, or whatever that was.
Yeah, I've thought about it, but I have no idea where to start on that. Most people who wind up being authors, that's something they've wanted to do their whole lives, and they've worked hard to get there. And for me, it was just kind of, I need something to do, and I had this crazy idea and decided to do it. And I have no idea what I'm doing as far as being an author and submitting work to people and things like that.
Well, hey, by the way, the guest I had on before you, Ronald Farnham, by the way, I'm going to promote you, Ronald, if you're listening. He has a book, How to Become a Screenwriter, basically, and you Google it and, maybe get some ideas on it, because, I mean, I really think it would make a really good TV series, or a mini series or something. I mean, I'm just, a lot of, I don't know. I just don't know how you do it. But I'm really shocked that you're not being overwhelmed with orders on these books.
A lot of that is marketing. I don't have the finances to pay the thousands of dollars for marketing that so many authors have, and especially the big name authors. Their books are promoted with tens of thousands of dollars to, get the word out there. And so if you don't have that, you kind of get lost in the shuffle.
Well, you could do like one person, I'm not going to mention their name, on Facebook. They put a lot of pictures of themselves up everywhere and then promote their books that way, and get on to all kinds of different shows and promote their books that way. I mean, you could do that. I mean, look at me. I mean, I started out when I first started with virtually nobody listening, and now I got a huge audience. And plus, in January, I'm going to be announcing something that's really shocking. It's going to take my audience level up multiple times. It's just, promoting yourself and working hard. And then all of a sudden, when you don't expect it to happen, it happens.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing recently, is just, flooding Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and using hashtags and, tagging people and, trying to spread it as best I can with what I have.
Well, I hate to say it, sex sells. Put more pictures of you up. Not the same pictures over and over again. Put other pictures of you up and put stories up, like, hey, the day I went out in, as a deputy in this strange paranormal thing happened. Just little stories like that will draw people's attention.
Oh, that means I have to take pictures of myself.
Well, gee, if you were ugly, I would, then you should be concerned, but you're not anywhere near ugly. So, I mean, I don't understand that. Promote yourself, okay? That's what you need to do.
Oh, thank you, and I'm trying. I'm trying.
Now, at least you don't get pictures of naked women in their 70s. I tell you, that's one thing I hate. Is occasionally I get a listener that for some reason they don't realize I'm a big fat guy, and all of a sudden I open up this email from them, because they'll chat with me for a while, on the chat line here, and all of a sudden I get a picture and they're either and I'm going, oh my God, 70 years old. Hey, it wouldn't have been so bad if they were 25 or 30, but now 70 years old makes me feel like I'm really old.
Yeah, I actually have a couple of my social media accounts set where if I don't know the person, I don't see the picture, and I can just block them instantly. I'm not taking pictures from strange people, and I get that a lot more than I should.
Well, that's because you're female, but the same thing with me. I mean, that's what I hate about Facebook, and it seems like it's getting more of it. I'm flooded with, people who want to be, a friend on Facebook. And honestly, I'm to the point now where, I'm up to almost 5,000 on my personal one. And my other ones, I just don't add a lot of people on it because I'm scared to, because you don't know if they're fake or whatever they are. I mean, I'm not looking to get married to a Russian girl or a Filipino. I'm not looking to I'm married. I don't want any of those type of, pictures sent to me. I don't care. I don't care. If it's not paranormal, folks, don't send me anything. If you don't want to be a guest on my show, don't send me anything. If you like my show, send me something. No naked pictures.
I'm inundated on Instagram, and I just checked my stats, and 75% of my Instagram traffic is out of Nigeria, which would be great if I was Nigerian, if I knew anyone from the country, if I had ever been there, or if I had ever sold even one item to a single person who lived in the country of Nigeria. But none of that applies.
Well, and, I get a lot of Russian.
I get 30 or 40 direct messages a day from men wanting to be my friend that I have to, not interested, block, and it wastes so much time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, tell me about that. I do value our friendship, and I want to thank you for what you did with those images today. I mean, I really, when I saw yours, I go, oh, I'm illiterate with a computer, okay? I mean, I know the software for broadcasting, but I'm not into a lot of the other stuff. I mean, I know Photoshop because I did do Photoshop for years, but I'm not into the computer side, at all. So there's a lot of stuff I don't know how to do. Time has passed me by. But we only got a couple minutes left, and I wanted to help promote your book or books. Tell everybody each book, and then I want you to tell them where they can buy it. And if they don't buy it, well, I'm going to send Ronald over to bug them.
Okay. The books are 51 The Beginning, 51 The Storm, 51 Monsters, 51 Secrets, and 51 Damages. And they can all be purchased on Amazon, in print, and Kindle. And books 2 through 5 are actually free on Kindle Unlimited.
Oh, wow. That is a great deal. Now,
yeah, I would love to make sure book 1 is there, but I went through a publisher, and that's their call, not mine.
Now, last thing here before I let you go. Your jewelry. Where can they look at your jewelry at?
They can go to my website. It is Liz Reader Books. There is an S at the end of book.com. And just click shop, and it will take you straight to where the jewelry is.
Well, great. Hey, I want to thank.
And
go ahead. Go ahead.
And here's right now I have 2 complete sets